Have you ever had such a huge goal that all the little details, the minutia starts to overwhelm you and you feel like you're never going to get there? This might be a little bit of are you the tortoise or are you the hare? Are you in incremental growth or exponential growth? So let's talk about the difference today on Profit Amplifier Secrets. Hi, I'm Melanie Benson. I'm the host of the Amplifier Success podcast, and this is our Profit Amplifier Secrets series. And I just got to take a little side note. I got to tell you, I'm super thrilled. I don't know if you can see the new background here. I moved into our new home about 6 months ago, and we finally got my office set up. Yay! So got the lighting all right, got everything organized, got the pictures on the wall. So feeling a little excited today to have a little bit more organization. I'm kind of wired for organization, and it's really like it's one of those things that helps create a foundation for me to get creative. Is when I feel like there's like sanity in my office. So I don't know if you can relate to that. I wanted to talk a little bit about this incremental versus exponential growth today, because we just did an Own Your Bold Circle call, and a couple of people were talking about like, okay, I've got this really big list of things. It feels so big and it's daunting and it's overwhelming me. And how do I keep my motivation and my focus high while I'm going through all these pieces? And, there's something I think that's intrinsic to a lot of entrepreneurs and people who are in business for themselves is like, we need to see results and need it in order to stay motivation. Can you relate to that one? If you can, give me a little shout out on the comments and let me know. And by the way, that's totally normal. Like, we are wired to like create, we're wired to think big, we're visionaries, we want to do things that we're passionate about. And if we're not making money at it, after a while, it kind of wears you down. And there was sometimes I'm inspired by TV many years ago, and I'm not going to say what show it is. I'll be interested to see if you know what show it is from my description. I was watching a show that was very popular back then. And there was a contest between two groups of entrepreneurs. And the contest was who could sell the most in the shortest amount of time. And one group went out and they found themselves, so it was like they had to sell these bottled waters. So one group went out and found themselves what they believed was a very strategic spot on a corner. And they were running around trying to get all these bottles of water sold to all these different store owners. And they were so proud of themselves. They thought, wow, we have sold so many bottles. I think they'd sold like 2,000 bottles. They're patting themselves on the back and they were very excited. This is a lot of work to sell those 2,000 bottles one at a time. Well, when the other group came back, they weren't so excited anymore because they realized that they had sold 10,000 bottles of water. And when they started to unpack what they did differently, they realized very quickly they'd been strategic and focused on exponential growth. They focused on how do we sell 1,000 bottles, 500 bottles at a time. They went for leverage, they went for scaling, and they went for where could we get somebody who can buy hundreds and hundreds of bottles, not just one bottle at a time. So do you know what this was from? I'm not going to say because I don't want to give the person who used to run that show any kind of endorsement, but the point of the show was very, very powerful. And that is when you focus on doing incremental sales, incremental steps, just the next thing. Yes, it is doable, but it's slow. It takes a long time to get to those bigger goals, right? And I think if you're the kind of person who's been selling one thing at a time, one next thing, chasing that one next sale, that one next dollar coming in your business, that one next step, yes, it's safe. Yes, it's cozy. Yes, you can hold on to it. Yes, you can control it, but you cannot scale your growth very quickly. And for a lot of people, this is going to kill your motivation. You're going to feel super impatient. You have a much bigger vision. If you're chasing a bold goal, this isn't going to be good enough. And so that's where you have to really think about exponential growth. How can I do the one to many? How can I grow faster? So there's a couple of things, and of course I like to customize my approach to coaching my clients. It's one of the things that I I take pride in is really finding a way that of all the different strategies that work, what's going to work for you based on your unique business model, your unique clients, and what lights you up. And I want to give a little shout out to Kamala Murphy and Deb Coleman. They're both in my high-end mastermind, my Awaken Leadership Mastermind, and they're giving me some feedback the other day that it's one of the things that they have, they feel so excited about in the group that they're in is that I do customize everything, and they always feel like all of their needs are taken into consideration and I bring the best out of them. So thank you guys for that beautiful feedback. Little shout out there. But going back to this, what I find is that if you can find a way to exponentially grow, so instead of focusing on that one next transaction, how could you enroll 100 people at once? How could you serve 100 people at once? And now maybe your next growth level is 20 people or 5 people. So you want to scale this to your model of the world right now, what feels like growth to you. But instead of getting caught up in like, how do I make that next sale? Think bigger. Stretch your mindset to, instead of selling one book, how do I sell 100? Instead of getting like 5 leads in the door, how do I get 1,000, right? Just start to stretch your thinking. It's not about the number. It's about really wrapping your head around and starting to like expand the possibility of how do I scale my growth quickly. So I work with an organization who I've been guiding them for like 9 years now, and I'm on their board. And one of the things they bumped up against a few different times now is the owner has been doing one-to-one sales, and their price point's pretty low for that kind of involvement, but it's really admirable in that she really wants to touch each and every person that comes in the door. So my challenge to her was always like, how do we capture your magic of you have this really great connection with people when you bring them into the organization, but scale it so you can enroll 20, 30, 100 people at a time instead of it takes you an hour to enroll one person in a really low price point. And so I think this is another place that we have to look at, how big are you thinking? Are you creating experiences where it takes an hour of your time to sell something that's under $50? Then that's not really exponential growth. That's going to slow your growth down. It's going to keep you stuck right where you are, and we need to start thinking bigger. So I think the real message here is, if you want to have a greater impact, if you want to be scaling your business in a greater way, if you want to increase exponentially your income potential, you're going to have to break free of old patterns that have been keeping you trapped in the model you're working right now. So you're probably going to need a new sales mechanism. So think, how can I sell one-to-many instead of one-to-one? Or how can I remove myself from the equation somehow? Or how do I increase the price point? So if I do have to be involved in that process, which selling usually does mean you will, that the return on that process is much greater. So that might be continuity. I mean, you make that one sale, but you're going to create continuity income for months and months and months, hopefully years and years and years. Or how do I increase the value, the price that I'm selling it for? So instead of a $100 or $20 transaction, it's a $1,000 or $5,000 or $10,000 transaction. So I know I'm bringing up a lot of points here. What I want you to do is I want you to start radically shifting your perspective. If I stopped incremental growth, which is literally like a turtle trying to win a race against a hare, and I went for, how do I expand my reach exponentially? If I could 10x my effort, what would I do differently? Start to challenge your assumptions, really break free of those holding patterns that are keeping you stuck where you are right now. It's one of the best ways to start growing your prosperity is to radically shift the way you approach solving problems in your business. It's why people hire coaches, really, is they challenge them to think better, to think bigger, to like get rid of the assumptions and the patterns that are holding them back. So that's my challenge for you this week on Profit Amplifier Secrets. And if you're in the Own Your Bold Circle with us, we're going to be tackling this in our next 10X challenge. So be thinking about how you're going to break free of those patterns. And if you want to find out more about Own Your Bold Circle, you can head over to ownyourboldcircle.com. If we're brand new friends and you want just some way to get more of this, I want to invite you to take the Own Your Bold Challenge. The whole point of Own Your Bold Challenge is to really stretch your thinking and to level up who you're being in your approach to growth so that you can actually start to shatter your earning limits. You can break free of old patterns, and you can become the person who can tackle any level of success. So it's a really exciting 5-day process. It's totally free right now at ownyourboldchallenge.com. And I'll take you through the process of how to uncover your authority platform, what your leverage factor is, meaning what's going to actually help you create that exponential growth. And most importantly, how do you prioritize on the right things at the right time so that your effort is exponentially moving you towards your biggest goals? So enjoy that gift at ownyourboldchallenge.com. All right, I'll be back next week with another Profit Amplifier secret. Love to hear your comments right there in the comments below. Until then, we'll see you soon. Bye for now.